we got a new used carpet for the turbo, and it's actually in pretty good shape. I picked up this carpet on eBay used, thinking it would be much dirtier and in much worse condition, and I'd have to pressure wash it and get it nice and clean. Well, I don't think that's the case. It's much cleaner than expected. New headlights and taillights are in, well, new/refurbished, but they're looking great. So now it's time to move on back to the interior of the 996, which still needs a good bit of work. If you weren't aware, this car was smoked in, and not by me. So there's, well, for one, the overwhelming odor of smoke in there, which I've gotten to be much better over the course of ownership. And number two, there's not one, not two, but a whole bunch of cigarette burns in the carpet. In front of the driver's seat, beside the driver's seat, and it's just something that I'll never be able to fix. So putting new used carpet in there is going to take care of both of these issues. But the first problem is getting the seats out. I took the driver's side seat out of this car within the first week I had it, probably, just because I wanted to get both seats out. Ew, like, look at that, come on. Why are people so gross? Cleaned the carpet really well, helped to get that smoke smell out. Driver's seat came out just fine. Well, the passenger seat forward and backward slider does not work. You can hear the motor work, but the seat doesn't move. So I don't know what the disconnect is there, but I'm gonna have to tear that seat apart to get the passenger seat out. So that's where I'm gonna start, because that's gonna be a pain. Now, in addition to all that, since we're gonna have the seats out, I'm going to recover them. The seats in this car need refinished. They're not terrible, but the driver's side is pretty worn out, and the passenger side, I don't know what the previous owner did. It's almost like he spray painted the lower part of the seat. It's got this like hard, feels like spray paint. So I don't know what happened there, but whatever that is, it's not coming off. The seats need replaced. I went through a whole bunch of different options, aftermarket seats, 997 seats, finding another set of 996 seats, but I really like these seats. They're comfortable, they plug right in, and they have yellow stitching, which seems to be kind of rare. It has yellow stitching on the door panel, the front seats, the rear seats, and now the awesome new steering wheel. I want to keep that OEM plus kind of look. So in here are my brand new seats. Yes, in this bag. Oh man, that looks really good. Smells like new leather. Of course it smells like new leather because it is new leather. These are brand new seat covers from L Seat. And I got basically just the stock configuration of that with the yellow stitching, so they'll look like factory but brand new. This is gonna be a lot of work. I'm gonna attempt to do it myself. I got myself some Amazon hog ring pliers, and if I can't, I'll just find a shop and have them do the install for me after I remove the seats. But removing the seats presents another challenge. I've got a good many issues with the seats in this car, actually. The driver's side power seat functions all work, but the heated seat does not. On the passenger side seat, the power seat functions don't work, but the heated seat does. Over here on the passenger side, you can hear the seat motor working, but it doesn't move. The recline part works, but the seat doesn't move forward or backward, which is gonna make removal a pain. I've got a host of issues to fix with the seats while recovering them. There's a lot of work ahead of me. So how am I gonna get to the bolts and stuff back there? I can get to the front, but I can't get to the rear. I've never tried to wrap a seat before, so we'll see how that goes. That might have to be saved for the next video, but in this video, I at least wanna get the passenger seat fixed, or at least removed, get the driver's seat removed, get all the carpet out, clean this carpet, put this carpet in, you know the drill. No more chitter chatter, a lot of work in front of me. Hey, well, that helps a lot. I have some room. Bunch of nasty stuff shoved down in there, of course. Why wouldn't there be? It seems like my current course of action is gonna have to be just to like pull the seat apart piece by piece. There's no way I can get it to go forward and backwards. I tried pushing on it real hard while moving the button, and I tried getting a pry bar in there. Like it's just not moving. If it wasn't clear there what I actually did, you can disconnect the bottom cushion. There's just two clips in the front. They come off pretty easily. Then the whole bottom cushion can be pulled out of there, which is convenient for instances like this. So now I just started basically testing different bolts and seeing what they did. The goal was basically to get the seat to be able to move forward. So I wanted to try and disconnect the motors that connected to the slider that moved it back and forth. Once I got that, I was able to actually spin the bar that connects the two motors to the slider gears, and that was how I got the seat to move forward. It was extremely tedious. This was a mountain of work just to be able to get that main section of motors out, and now I can grab this and twist it. You can see that's moving the whole seat forward. Whew. And now I can get to the bolts in the back, and that is disgusting. This thing is a disaster. Not sure where to begin. So I know this side turns freely. Well, that shouldn't be the issue. I need to see if this side will turn freely, but you can't turn the motor without power. Getting these tracks back together, aligned and working, at least working as far as I can tell, was a major nightmare. This has been an absolute fight, but I got the seat all back together. I don't have the motors in yet because I don't know if it's a motor problem. This guy is broken, so I've got some parts to order for these tracks before I can get that all installed. But luckily I can do it after the fact, after the seat is in the car. I'm gonna start with the seat bottom cushion and see if I can, well, put the new one on correctly. Looks like this is held on with a bunch of staples. The outside of the seat cover seems to be mostly consisted of glue and staples holding it on. And it's not that difficult to take apart, which is handy. The next thing you have to do is take out a bunch of these little plastic clips, or at least loosen them up a little bit so you can force them through the plastic without breaking them. Oh, so there's some hog rings. To get the hog rings off, I just used a pair of dikes. They're really easy to cut through. They're really not that hard. Cut them off, and then the whole seat cover is loose, and you can pull it off. Seven, 8, 9. So 9 hog rings. That's it. The rest are just a bunch of clips. This foam seems fine. It's not like outstanding condition, but it's all there. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I got one in, so alrighty. Whew, that wasn't too bad. I got all 9 in. Now, see what it looks like folded over. Not bad, not bad. Gotta figure out how all this goes. I almost forgot I need to transfer these over as well. You might not be able to tell from me basically sounding like I'm out of breath, but whew. But these little white plastic clips are extremely hard to get in because you're fighting through the foam and fighting to line everything up perfectly, and they barely fit in these holes in the seat. All the pins are in, all 10 of them, and I'm sweating. Holy crap. I'll start unwrapping it, see what the almost finished product looks like. It's looking good so far. It's nice and tight, I'll tell you that. My staple gun really isn't made for this type of work or material. It's not that strong, so a combination of staples and then my clamps holding it in place while I stapled it seemed to do the trick. I got it all wrapped around there and held in, and I was happy with the results. So now it's time to move on to the backs of the seats. First, I wanted to get the rails cleaned up because they were gross, like the rest of the car and the rest of the leather. And then it was time to actually take the backs apart. With all the old leather removed, it was time to fit the new leather. And boy, this proved to be a challenge. So the way it works is the leather is attached to the rear, basically just by fitting a rubber type of gasket in between this crack, and it is tight. I tried a whole bunch of ways to get it in there with the foam still on there, and man, I just struggled. It was just not working out for me. So the seat bottom turned out really, really nice. I'm happy with that. It has just a couple small wrinkles over here, but that could be akin to me not being a professional. And also I could probably take some steam to it. And from what I've seen on the internet, some steam will help smooth this out, but it is really nice. Feels really nice. Feels like real leather. Like that just looks and feels like crap, to be honest. So I still need to cut the hole for the controllers in the side, but I'm very happy with that. For the first time ever doing anything like this, kind of exceeded my expectations. But with the seat back, not so much. You saw I really struggled trying to get the seat back into position. I think I need heat. I need either a hot day where I can let it sit out in the sun, the whole cover, and stretch, or I need to take steam to it. I could take a heat gun to it, but I'm a little worried because that you could really risk damaging the leather. I think with a steamer, you'll have almost little to no risk of damaging the leather. So I need to get a steamer to take care of the bottom over here, and a steamer to help me install the backs. I actually went as far as contacting some local auto upholstery shops. Problem is twofold. Number one, all of them are booked into at least May, if not June or July. And my price ranges were basically $700 to $1,000 just to install these. That's with me having the seats out, taking the seats to them, etc. That's crazy. So I'm gonna keep trying this. I just had to walk away because it was really frustrating me. So anyway, gonna move on to the carpet now. Might as well start cleaning this, get it all vacuumed, and then I'm gonna hit the whole thing and scrub it down with carpet cleaner and a brush, and then give that ample time to dry. Then yank the driver's seat out, the center console, the door sills, and everything else that needs to be removed to get that cigarette smelled, burnt, nasty carpet out of there. Guys, I am really impressed. But I thought it was gonna be nasty, dirty, old. It's actually in really good shape. So I still need to scrub it down, but there aren't any like nasty stains or anything. I mean, it looks pretty fresh. It looks like someone had a 996 and took care of it. Crazy. Now, since this carpet was in such better shape than I thought it would be, it really just needs a simple scrub. So some generic carpet cleaner from your parts store or wherever works really well. I just did one pass on everything, and then I took clean rags and dried it all up, and then the finishing touch is just to blow it all off with an air gun. And man, this thing really did turn out like new. I was super impressed. I thought for sure I would be pressure washing this and like blowing out mud and dirt and stains and letting it sit outside for a few days to dry. Glad that wasn't the case. I'm pretty sure it's gonna rain again, so I need to get that back inside and get this stuff out of the way. It's thundering again, and you can kind of see it got dark out really fast. Sorry, Porsche guys. This car just sounds better. Now it's time to take the easy seat out. The passenger side, that was a whole spiel of not fun. Now I know I didn't unplug the battery. I didn't unplug it for the passenger side, and I have a code scanner that can actually get rid of the airbag light. It's not a big deal. It's just easier for me to still have access to some of the electronics in case I need them. All right, got that out. I'm very curious what I'm going to find under the carpet, because we all know what gets hidden and lost under seats. But it's just time to take out the center console, the kick plates, the sill panels, whatever you want to call them. Maybe some pieces down there, and I think that's really it. I don't think this is going to take too long or be too difficult. There's only one way to find out, though. As many times as I've had the center console out, I should be pretty good at it. Look at all this change. I could take you on a nice date to Burger King or something. Passenger side, I believe, is fully loose. See all the goodies down there. All right, gas pedal out of the way. Yes, it does. Okay. I think everything's loose. I think I just get all my tools and other stuff out of the way, and then yeah, I think I can pull this out of here. Can't wait to see what's underneath. Oh my goodness, it's out. If you're watching this video on the 30th of April, this is the last day to get entered to win the brand new Milwaukee 3/8 ratchet kit. Comes with a battery, the ratchet obviously, and a charger and case. You can enter by purchasing anything on the website. Every $5 you spend is an entry. The 30th is the last day to enter. Good luck, guys. Honestly, that carpet wasn't too bad to get out. Didn't do any cutting, nothing like that. It slid out decently easily. Now, something I noticed, and I hope is not a major problem, the carpet's wet on the passenger side. The floor isn't. It's just in the insulation, if that's what you want to call it, in the carpet. So, I don't know what was leaking. I'm guessing it's before I got it, because it's been garaged most of the time I've had this car. Your thoughts on that would be appreciated. I'm guessing something to do with sunroof drains, if it's anything like an E36, I don't know. But the amount of change in here is insane. There's change everywhere. I'm guessing the guy had a toll where he was going to work or something, because why else would you have that much change? So I'm going to take the next however long it takes to get all the change out of here. I found a lighter underneath there, and then just clean the whole floor and get ready to put the new used carpet in there. Overall, I'm pretty happy with everything so far. The first step in all this cleaning was getting all the loose change out of here, and you saw I actually had to use a screwdriver and pry a lot of it out because it was stuck on with who knows what substance. Then after that, it was time for a good vacuum, and then actually took an air gun and tried to blow out all of the little cracks and crevices inside, because there's a lot of them. And then another round of vacuuming, and then it was time for the actual cleaning. So I sprayed the floor with this foaming glass cleaner that's pretty good for degreasing stuff actually, and just scrubbed it all down with a rag. Did the same thing a few times on each side, gave it another vacuum, and then it was on to another project that I wanted to do while I was in here and had access to some of these wires. The previous owner ran all these wires to what was presumably a horribly installed sub in the rear, and just had them under the carpet. I'm actually going to pull this panel off and put them in there where other wires are to make it a little more factory looking and to just clean up this big mess. That's much better. Nothing that anyone will ever see, actually looking at the car, but makes me feel better about it. Now just final cleanup, blow it with the air gun, and vacuum, and we're ready to put the new carpet in. Much cleaner now. Got all the gunk and grime out of there, all the loose change, the spare lighters, all that good stuff. Floor is nice and clean and ready for new carpet installation.